What's up, guys? It is Chris back with another watch unboxing, and today I have somewhat of a special watch. I would say it's an incredible value, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. This is Airain. This is a brand that's been around for a very long time. Now, it's not the same ownership. I believe that this has been bought and sold a few times. However, what they are famous for is for their Type 20. Now, they were one of the manufacturers during World War II that were commissioned to produce the Type 20 chronograph. And one of the other brands that was commissioned to do that was also Breguet, and those are the most famous, I would say. But Airain make a few, Chronofix, Dodane, Mathé, Tissot. There were a few different manufacturers that actually made Type 20s, and then they went on to make Type 21s. They made civilian issue versions. However, Airain made actual military issue watches. They were the Type 20. They made them to the exact same specs that Breguet did, that Dodane did. And those are the more famous versions of them. However, this brand, I guess, has been bought and sold. They made other watches. They made dive watches in the 70s. Some cool watches, actually. Some that used squale cases and things like that. However, like I said, they've been bought and sold a few times. And this is just one of the iterations. I think this brand under this Airain is actually still around, and they were just recently bought again, is what I'm trying to say. They were sold. So this under this iteration no longer exists. And we'll get into what this is and what they actually did here in just a moment. But the packaging is actually very nice, especially when you're considering the price. Leather box, carrying case. You get two little slots, so you could put straps here, I guess. And then, of course, an area for the watch. 2-year warranty, and then it says Airain on there, and it just has the reference number. And then, of course, you have the chronograph. Now, this is a 41.5 millimeter chronograph. This is a lot larger than the original Airain that they Type 20 that they originally made. That was around 38 or 37 millimeters. However, because they've upsized this watch, you could see they didn't go much larger with the subdials. So the subdials are a little bit smaller on here. You really shouldn't be able to see that 9 or 3. They should be cut off on the original Type 20. So that is not exactly original. Also, you have a unidirectional bezel. The unidirectional bezel on here is nice. It actually feels really nice. And there isn't a lot of play on it, and it lines up. And you can see there's basically no play on it. It is polished and has like a little polished edge, so it's a little bit hard to use. It should be bidirectional, so that's how the originals were, and it is not. And then, of course, there's one other big difference between this and the original. The original had a hand-wound Valjoux movement. I think it was a Valjoux 73 or a 72, something like that. This has a Meca-Quartz, so it has a Seiko Japanese-made Meca-Quartz chronograph movement in this. It is also thick. It's actually quite thick for the actual size of the watch, which is kind of weird. And it comes in at 14 millimeters thick, and then or just about 14 millimeters thick. And then the lug to lug is 51 millimeters lug to lug. So it is pretty big. It gets a nice onion crown on here, and it has very similar pushers to the original. Sort of like a beads of rice bracelet on here. It's a little bit, not the beads of rice itself aren't really flattened. Then you have pin and collar in the bracelet itself. One other letdown, I guess you could call it a letdown, but not at this price, and we'll get into the price in just a second. The clasp is all pressed. It really isn't that bad, though. I think it's not that bad. It looks good. Crown is signed. The back has an airplane on here. Looks really good. Just a nice little motif that they put on the back. Everything feels nice. It's finished really nice. For the price, just to get it right into it, these originally retailed for $265, I think it is, and it says it right on here. $265 exactly. It's a nice leather hang tag, by the way, and it's signed Airain on there. Really nice, actually. This is $100. I paid $100 on eBay. I bought this and then one immediately sold right after it with a black dial on a strap for $51. They have been flooded on eBay for some reason. I keep a search on my eBay for Airain because I am a fan of the brand and I would like to own a Type 20. It's sort of like that Waltham 50 Fathoms Blancpain Bathyscophe that I bought. It's the same specs as the Breguet Type 20. It uses the same movement. They were doing the same purpose. However, the Breguet became famous. The Airain did not really. So I thought it was interesting. And when I saw these started popping up, and I mean they are popping up, there are literally 10 or 20 of these on eBay right now for around $130. There is one seller in Puerto Rico I offered $100 to, and he took it. And he sent me this, and I have to say this is the brown dial. It's like a tobacco color. It has somewhat of a aged lume to it. They have it in a few different colors, which is kind of weird. They have a gray dial with some red accents. They never made that. They actually did make this, so a black dial, but with age, it would look more of like a tropic dial. That's the reason why I went for this one. They also make it in a black dial with white lume. So like the originals did. However, again, this is way upsized from the original, 41.5 millimeters. So it is bigger than the original 37 or 38 millimeters that the originals were. But again, for $100, I think this is an incredible bargain. It's a really cool reissue from a brand. Now, I said that this brand actually doesn't exist anymore. Airain has been bought by another brand, and they are reissuing the exact same watch with a different movement, and they are also downsizing the case. They're going back to a more original size case, and they are also putting a mechanical chronograph in it, and that mechanical chronograph is actually going to be made by WWII, I believe, so it's going to be a pretty high-end movement, and they're selling those or pre-order right now for around $3,000. Essentially, it looks like this watch. I will be honest. This does not look that far off from the original, from that new reissue. I believe it gets a little bit nicer of a sapphire. This is a sapphire crystal, by the way, as well. I think it gets a little bit nicer of a box sapphire crystal. This is just a flat sapphire crystal. So it doesn't look 100% like the original, but it's very close. It's more like a modern reinterpretation of that original. Anyway, let me throw it on my wrist so you guys can see 41 millimeters, how it looks on my wrist. Today, I am wearing the Warrenbach. This is the Soyuz with that burnt orange dial. It is a piece of the rocket booster from one of the Soyuz rockets. Just an awesome watch. I absolutely love this watch. They are on Kickstarter, and they believe they have funded many times over, and they're coming out with more affordable versions of this watch, so definitely stay tuned for them. So very quickly, I'm going to just take off this hang tag and then throw this on my wrist. So I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and this watch, like I said, is 41 millimeters, but it is kind of thick, especially considering that they put a quartz movement in it, and it shouldn't be this thick. I don't know why they went that thick. And the lug-to-lug isn't exactly that small. It's 51 millimeter, 51 millimeters, a little bit above. So you can see it doesn't look bad on my wrist. I don't think it looks enormous. It doesn't look huge. It looks really good. I haven't sized it for my wrist, of course, but I will. Very cool watch at a very good price. I definitely recommend you guys checking these out if you are ever interested in getting a Breguet Type 20. This has a lot of the style of the current Breguet Type 21, which is a large watch, 43 millimeters. So it's actually a little bit bigger than this watch, I think. And this has a lot of that style, and you get that sweep second. So definitely check these out. A bargain at $100, and if you could wait for an auction to end, $51 for this watch on a leather strap with the packaging that it comes with is ridiculously priced. I think everybody should get one. Very quickly, I'll do a lume shot. I think this has lume. I may be wrong. If it doesn't, we'll just wrap up the video. Well, there you have it. You can see the lume is actually really good on here. There's a lot of lume. All the indices are lumed. The hands are lumed. Brightly lumed, actually. Very nice. and it's hanging on a little bit. I think this is a real winner for $100. I really like to bring you guys bargains when I see them. And obviously, I'm a collector. I love watches. So when I saw these just start popping up on eBay, I said to myself, God, I got to get this to my channel because this is an incredible value for $100. This is a really cool chronograph. There are brands out there that make Meca-Quartz chronographs that are way more expensive. Even at the retail, this was retailing for $265. They are still honoring the actual warranty on these. They actually are still honoring those through the new current site for the new version that they are creating that's actually with that hand-wound movement. I don't know why, but I think they're honoring that because of the name. I think maybe it was part of the purchase of the actual name that they had to honor the warranties on these watches. There are a bunch of them flooding the market. Check out eBay. There are a ton of them on there. And for $100 shipped, this is an incredible value. Definitely, I want to pick up another one. I think that if I can get another one for around like that $51 one that I saw that just sold for $51 on a strap with the black dial, that looked really good. And they have a couple other interesting dial colors. Anyway, tell me what you think of this watch in the comments below. I always want to hear from you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.